What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and I am fired up for the first time this season about Housewives of Atlanta. Guys, I was hot. Most of it is about Marlo, but like this episode, what's funny about this series is I used to be so excited to watch it every week, and now I'm only excited when I'm mad. It might just be me. Let me see something really quick. Make sure my audio. There we go. What's up, everybody? I see you guys in the chat. Hopefully, this sounds better because now I got my audio actually connected. Y'all, I was hot. I was heated with Marlo. We'll get into it, but at no point should you be exploiting these kids to the level that Marlo is exploiting them. It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't know how this woman has any fans. Maybe, maybe the city girls probably like Marlo just because like her fashions and stuff like that. But we'll get into it, y'all. So we always start off with a little bit of mess that may or may not be related. So let's see. These two took a picture. Now, at what point do people say enough is enough with the Facetune? These two women are unrecognizable. And I'm not gonna lie, I prefer Nene with her original face. The original nose. I liked her hair. I mean, I don't get it. Like it's like they're morphing into white women, I guess. I don't get it. Y'all can put which do y'all prefer, the thin or the now? And just remember, now ain't what they really look like. Now is after Facetune Pro. So y'all put in the chat, replay game. Y'all put who you prefer, the before or the after. I'ma always stick with the before. I don't mind people who use filters, but I don't understand the concept of filtering every picture till you're unrecognizable. And if you notice on the filters, everybody has the same face. Jawline extends, same makeup. They lighten you about 10, 20 shades, but I'm going to leave that alone. So we're going to get right into it because this ain't going to be one of them super long, drawn out 2 hour lives. I got a super chat. She says, "Hey, Mims, hope you're having a blessed night. Thank you so much, Sassy Girl. I appreciate that. I am having a blessed night now that you have blessed me with this super chat. Okay, so let's start off. We're starting off with, oh, wait, y'all are saying then. So you preferred the before. Before is their body and their face. It is their, well, it's not actually their face. It's Facetune's face, but I get where you're going. The old looks, then. I'm not saying don't use it. Nose jobs trying to be white before they look natural. Yeah, and hit the like button, y'all. Do what LRG says. Hit the like button. I'm not saying you can't use filters. I think just about everybody uses filters, but I mean, I just get so tired of people going up for it. Like, oh my God, you just. But I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I just think they don't need it because both are beautiful women. They don't need all that extra. Um, so I know y'all saw me post this. Is it just me, or does Sheree have better reads when she's not live? Because Sheree gets to stuttering when she's trying to read you live, and Sheree is what I call a mimicker. Mimickers are people who don't necessarily have a clapback, so they just mimic what you just said. They might change the dissonance in their tone or whatever. Um, I get what you're saying, but it hits different. Okay, Chi-Town, you're one of my faves. I really do feel like Sheree is maybe she's getting people who read people down for her in her confessionals and stuff like that, but she definitely doesn't give this in person. Uh, again, Drew, unrecognizable, but beautiful. Oh, what's up? I got a new member. What's going on, Sebastian? Thank you for joining the membership. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We have really cool things coming up with my membership, giveaways, and I am going to be doing the members only live. But guys, let me give you guys a little tidbit about what's been going on with me in reality. In reality, uh, my job said that I had to work for a month and a half, no vacations, and I might have to be doing like mandatory overtime. They have just extended that. So I will be at 2.5 months with no days off, weekends sometimes, but I also work the weekends for them sometimes. So it's been really, really crazy. Thank you for sticking by me. I have not forgotten about my members. We're going to do those member only live, but y'all, I'm tired. My mom came over and was like, "You got bags under your eyes." Who does that to their child? But anyway, thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you, Sebastian, for joining the membership. I really appreciate it. And I'll be interested to hear what you have to say when I drop the link. Okay, so we're moving on to Sheree. I feel like every time I say her name, it should be like wonk wonk afterwards. I'm just not. It's just not hidden, Sheree. It's not hidden. Like, Sheree, what are you doing? We got Sheree with her son. Again, she's talking about releasing her joggers and she wants him to model. It's a natural choice for her son to be the model for these, for whatever Sheree has going on. He's synonymous with the brand. I get it. But to me, it was a little weird for Sheree to ask her son to model some joggers that she will admit have a D print in it. Like, what is this giving? It's you are sexualizing your son for not a lot of money because she don't have a budget. So this would be free. You are sexualizing this kid. I try not to go too hard on Sheree. I like Sheree. I just feel like Sheree always misses the mark. So you know me, I do my deep dives. And I was thinking, it kind of feels like when girls give themselves a camel toe. So there are panties designed to give you a camel toe. It's not new. It's big. Some people like a camel toe. To each their own. And so I was thinking, well, maybe Sheree is trying to do something different. Maybe Sheree is trying to hit the market, the men's market, with something that's never been done because She by Sheree has never really been a thing. I don't know that I would buy anything She by Sheree, and I definitely don't think I would. I don't need anything that has a built-in print. So I was thinking, okay, but let me give her credit. She probably has something. She probably has people in her ear telling her this is new, it's innovative. D prints have been in for the last couple years, but then I saw this. It's not even new, y'all. It's not even her original idea. You can go out and buy joggers with D prints. It's nothing new. So again, I'm like, you're trying to like pick up on a fad, Sheree, but you're constantly missing the mark. If fashion was your thing, and that's your like, you want this to be your bread and butter, you're gonna have to come up with some things that are actually your own. Just saying, because this ain't it. This ain't it. Oh, I got a super chat. Where we at? Where we at? Sorry. So now I have a setup, y'all. I done bought a desk, so I'm feeling myself. Thanks, Miss D Green. She says, "Hey, Mims, your content is great, and even with your professional obligations, you still come through." Y'all, I'm trying. I'm trying. I have being a small content creator it's hard to get interviews, but I am still pushing myself. I am trying to get interviews for you guys, stuff that I think is interesting, stuff that I think is messy. It's giving opiates, right? She's so disappointing. I don't get it. So for any of the men in the chat, are y'all gonna buy some joggers that has a built-in D print? And y'all can be honest because we're family here. Do y'all want some G print joggers? And for the ladies in the house, do you need any panties with a built-in camel toe? If you do, don't be ashamed. Just let us know and we can talk about it. We can work our way through this. We'll work. Okay. Let me see what y'all are saying. Nope. Ew. What did I walk into? Wait, Ellen, you knew what it was when you signed the paperwork to be a subscriber. You knew what this. Absolutely not. A comfort pouch. Haven't gotten any complaints yet. We'll leave that right there. Camel. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing, y'all. It's a thing. What did Angela say? In my day, we would do anything to avoid camel toe. It's a new day, Angela. You got to keep it spicy to keep your man. I know you've been married for a while, so maybe I'll gift you some camel toe. No, sorry. Okay, moving on. Move. Moving on. Okay, so I think we're getting to the part where I was pissed. We're getting to Sheree visiting the archive. Uh, Marlo at this point needs to pay Bravo. The amount of times that we have seen the archive, it's the same tired clothes. I'm really kind of over it. Good for Marlo promoting her business, but I'm bored. She knows Sheree can't afford no $225 per day Louis Vuitton swimsuit. Moreover, are people really wearing swimsuits that have been all up in somebody else's camel toe? Even if it's been cleaned, is that like to each their own? If I wouldn't do it. I'm not sharing swim trunks with even my best friend. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, I'm good. I'm good on that. That's gross. So nasty. Absolutely not. What's up, Ramel? Hey, Shay. Again, absolutely not. Hey, it's a market for it. It's a market for it. Um, so back to Marlo. So Marlo is again talking about these kids, and I'm really tired. I'm so tired of Marlo exploiting her nephews, and I'm let me take this off. I'm extremely upset that she talked about his poor hygiene. Like we, as the viewing audience, don't need to know that this little kid, who's basically a foster kid at this point, is not taking baths and not brushing his teeth. The level that this woman will go to try to endear the audience to her is absolutely disgusting to me. I do not like Marlo. I cannot get with this. And on a serious note, you can put in the comment section, you can put in the chat. When she told the story of one nephew telling her about this, to me, it felt like a kid who didn't come from anything. Mom has had issues. They've struggled their whole lives. Marlo takes them in and then she gives them back. To me, it felt like a kid who would say or do anything that he thought would make Marlo come and get them sooner. Like, oh my God, Auntie, without you, he's not brushing his teeth. He's not taking baths. He's not doing his homework. To me, it felt like a kid crying for help. And the fact that Marlo is not cognitive, she doesn't have the cognitive ability enough to see that is sad because for these last however many years till these kids go to high school, she's going to be the ones that's going to be molding these kids. It was really disgusting to me. Like what Marlo lacks in likability, emotional intelligence, depth, intellect, she tries to make up with fashions. And to me, that's really sad. Because to me, it's the same character as Dorit. But moving on. Um, I also thought, you know, we I'm not gonna be going through every single thing in this episode. We're not going through every detail. But we're gonna go through the big things. So I think it's late that they're going back to Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I was saying this on Kimpire's show, and people took it the wrong way. I love Jamaica, but this is the top franchise. They don't need to repeat a country. Why would this particular group of women, need to repeat a country? It's as tired as Sonya is to me for them to go back. Like maybe another country in Africa. Anything else that's not an actual repeat. And, people were saying maybe because, health stuff going on. I don't know. But I was not saying in any way that Jamaica is tired. I'm saying that they're not giving these girls a big enough budget to go somewhere else for a trip that we have not already seen. If y'all remember, they shot Cynthia's commercial in Jamaica a few years back. So Jamaica is a beautiful country, but you were right, Kim. But you were right on Kim. They're repeating countries. The budget set low for right. Marlo been taking care of them for years. If she needed a break, she needed a break. She ain't their mama, and it's dang good of her to keep them at all. I agree with you, but you're getting your reward for this. Think about it this way, Sierra Content. She's getting her reward for this because this changed her character on this show. I think that her taking them in no small part played a role in why Marlo got this show. She's using them for content. That's all I'm saying. And I don't like the way that she's using them. So we talk about the vacation, and this is where we get the instance where Kenya hangs up on Sonya. What I took from this was when Sonya talked to Sheree, she definitely acknowledged that Sheree was single, and she asked the question, do you want to bring a significant other or maybe a friend? But it's going to be couples. That's completely different than what she said to Kenya. Don't get me wrong. I do think Kenya overreacted, but it's different. If you're telling Kenya it's a couples trip and you are repeating it to her like she's slow or she can't pick up on concepts, you're never like Sonya, you're not right. Sonya looked really good in this scene. Sonya did. Sonya is a very beautiful woman. Her body is ridiculous. She still has an athlete's body. Her abs, she got like an 8-pack. Beautiful woman. But you knew, baby. You knew, baby girl. You may not want to ruffle Kenya or Candy's feathers. It's weird that they're also letting first-year girls plan trips. That's new. I'm glad she hung up on her. But here come Marlo. Marlo talking about Kenya's just mad because she couldn't get a date. At this point, we all know Kenya get a date. But let's talk about Marlo's last date on the show. I think that you guys recognize this. That's that same dress that she's been wearing since she turned from her 30th birthday. It's a $15,000 dress. She wore this to, I think it was Cynthia's wedding reception, because I don't think she really got invited. This is one of Marlo's Johns. I don't care. I said it. This is one of Marlo's dates that she gets paid a lot of money to go on. So you're talking about Kenya couldn't bring a date, but when you had an opportunity to bring a date, this is the last thing we saw from you. And this was maybe like 10 years ago. Just saying. Y'all know I come with the facts. I am so not into this season. Can't wait to see who Marlo brings. He looks like bro of Gavin. Who's Gavin? Which John or married citizen will Marlo bring? Maybe she'll bring this one. Maybe she'll bring this one. What else? She paid him. The nephew not brushing his teeth or bathing is impossible. I don't want to think that he has anything mental going on. I don't think that that's true. I think it sounds like something the other brother said to get Marlo to take them back. But I hope he doesn't have anything mental going on. And if he does, I do hope that Marlo and that psychiatrist can help. But I don't think that he does. Mims, her John. I haven't seen the show since Candy was pregnant with Ace. Let me find out. Nothing that Marlo has said would lead me to believe that Marlo is not a high-class lady of the night. Nothing wrong with that if that's the career path you need to go down. Maybe Diana Jenkins can help her step up her game. I really don't know. Um, but I don't think Marlo has any right to be talking about who somebody else is going to bring on the trip. Um, Back to Sonya really quick. I think that she unintentionally spoke to Kenya that way. I don't think that there was anything that she said where she meant to be harmful. I know a lot of people are saying whenever she gets around like Marlo, she gets shady. I didn't see that. I think it was unintentional. I think it was an error on her part, and I think she won't do it again to Kenya. Where we at? Where we at? Um, okay, Marlo going to the counselor. Now, y'all, I'm all for people going to counselors, but first off, I didn't see no tears when Marlo started crying. Let's start there. As soon as Marlo sat down in the chair, she started crying. I didn't see any tears. I also thought it was weird that we find out that Sheree introduced this man to Marlo, Dr. Tart. Sheree has a life coach. Why would she, in my head, I'm thinking, why would she need another counselor? And then when I was on Kempire's show, he exposed that this man has been on a lot of these different shows and he's a dating coach. And that's when I was like, bingo, Marlo and Sheree are using this man for that. I think that this man wants to be on Love Match Atlanta, and that's why he's doing all these different shows. But again, I don't think that Marlo needs to go through a counselor to get a date. I think Marlo needs to get Diana to set her up with whoever Diana sets people up with. Y'all are my people, so y'all know exactly what I'm saying. I think that Marlo needs to go to Diana. Her and Erica Jane could probably get a couple dates out of Diana. If she has a market for like older ladies of the night, I'm sure there's a market for everything though. So, uh, I mean, what did I get from Dr. Tart? Um, when she was talking about the kids and stuff that she listed was a little weird to me. She's talking about she loves them there for movie nights and Taco Tuesday. It's very surface level, y'all. Like, why wouldn't you talk about I want to see them through to make it to college? I want to see them go in a different career path than I did. I don't want them to have a criminal record. I don't want them to have to struggle. I don't want them to have to fraud because one of Marlo's charges is fraud. I would have hoped that I just want more from her. I want there to be more depth. I want Marlo to understand that these kids are more than an accessory. I get that she's helping out her family members, but at I've done the same thing. I think that a lot of people in this chat can say that they've made concessions in their life for a family member or for multiple family members. That doesn't mean that the family member owes you for the rest of the life. That just means that you, out of the kindness of your heart, are doing something that may not directly benefit you for your family. And I think that's the important thing. I think that Marlo treats these kids like accessories, especially as it pertains to the show, because I think she thinks it makes her look good. And I think that's why she went so hard on Kenya, because Kenya is one of those perceptive people and she will go through your smoke screen. And a lot of people don't like that. I want better for those kids. I think Marlo is doing something nice doing this for them, but I definitely want to see her exploit them less if she gets to keep her peach next year. On to the bread and butter of this episode. We get the scene with Riley, Candy, Kayla, and Todd. This was the reason I'm doing this, y'all, because y'all know I hadn't done an RHOA in a while. And when I went off on Kempire's channel, I was like, man, if I'm up here talking this long, I should probably do my own show. And this is why we're here. Y'all, this is what dreams are made of. I was getting my entire life through this entire scene. Riley was giving Mama Joyce. It was this was right, Team Riley, this conversation. I think this conversation needed to be had. First off, um, in the Black community, I don't think that we do enough planning for being for when people pass away. So I think when Candy is thinking about her scenes, I think that she puts this out because it's something that could benefit her community. You were running your mouth on Kim. I actually talked. We talked afterwards or whatever. It's all good. um, I enjoyed this conversation, and I'm totally Team Riley and Candy on this one. A lot of people think that Todd gets emasculated, but I think that Todd has shown that he doesn't parent the same way as Candy. Candy is a very gracious person, not only to her biological kids, but everybody around her. Y'all remember she was taking care of AJ's kids after he passed away. So Candy is the one that you want in your corner. And if she can't figure out how to give you money, she's gonna give you a job. She hires people in her community. She lives in her community. She's worth. I'm thinking she's probably worth 40 to 50 million. Because little known fact, when you see all these people who do net worths, a lot of times they have submitted their paperwork so that they can be in the net worth catalog, wiki, whatever. I don't think Candy's doing that because I don't think Candy really wants people to pinpoint how much money she has. But I think Candy is probably somewhere around 50 million now because she makes 2.5 million a season on this show alone. And all of her investments that she does are smartly off this show. All of that 35 million that she started off with when the show started, or she started the show season 2, she had 45 million. I mean, 35 million. I think that that was all put away. And from then on, everything bedroom candy, the OLG, all of her investments are just extra money that she has off the show. She's not touching anything. And that's why Todd ain't touching nothing that he did not build with her. He's only touching the stuff that they built together. I'm with Candy. I have seen this happen too many times where one spouse is wealthy and they come up with that clause, the lifestyle that I have been accustomed to. So let's get to it. We got Riley, and Riley is basically saying what Mama Joyce would say: you need to keep me in the lifestyle that I've grown accustomed to. Riley knows that she is a wealthy kid. Candy is comfortable with that because Riley is a good kid. She's in NYU. That isn't something that you just get into. You don't, and she's not a legacy. So this girl worked hard. She's been good. And more importantly, what I've not heard anybody talk about, Riley has been on this show since he's a child. So part of Candy's storyline has been Riley's father, taking care of Riley. So I do think that Riley deserves a piece of the pie. And I think Candy rewards her, not only because she's her child, but because she gave up certain aspects of her childhood, like to be an anonymous kid or just to be a normal kid, being on this show. So I'm here for Candy giving her probably some form of an allowance, especially living in New York. What I don't like is that Riley is probably living in a high rise where other housewives lives. Because we remember when she did her internship, she was in the same apartment complex as Dorinda, or condominium complex as Dorinda. Meanwhile, they probably got Kayla living on Skid Row paying her own bills because Todd is her daddy. And sometimes he ain't shit. Just saying. Um, Todd wants to, if Candy were to pass away, Todd wants to give the girls their money in increments. I know a lot of people, a lot of wealthy people do that. Like you might get $1 million when you turn 18, another couple million when you turn 21, another few million. But I think that's really for those kids who just live off their money for the rest of their life. I think Candy is raising Riley to have the same kind of drive as her. So I'm with Riley. If she wants to start her own business at 21 after she graduates and her mom was wealthy and her mom passes away, I don't think that Riley should be stifled. And I think that Kayla should be given more. Bravo was disrespectful as an AF. I'm trying to keep my monetization, y'all. Bravo was disrespectful AF for posting this. We got Candy. Before she met Todd, she had all of her song publishing, Bills, 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 all those songs she wrote for TLC, The Candy Factory, which is a freestanding building with producers and soundstage, everything. Bedroom Candy, her sex toy line, her mansion, Guest House, Mama Joyce's house, Tag's Boutique, Todd, New Jersey condo. Y'all, I fell out my seat. Why Bravo decided to shade Todd like this, I don't know. Why Candy is allowing it, I don't know. But I bet you Candy was pissed because she don't like for you to talk about her man, her money, or her food. So it was shady, but I was here for it. In all honesty, let me take this off the screen. Todd wants the kids to make their own way. But Ty got really comfortable with Candy's money. Prior to getting with Candy, Todd was in production. So let's say he made about $100,000 a year. He had an older Range Rover, and none of the stuff that Candy had. When Candy and him got together, Candy bought him a Corvette. He moved into a mansion, and he was spending Candy's money willy-nilly. So it's not like Todd said, well, no, I want to work for everything I have, and baby, your money's your money. No, he jumped right into that. So the fact that he couldn't give Kayla his old Range Rover said a lot to me, because it's never okay to shun one child. If you are now in a situation where you're rich and you're dating a multimillionaire and she wants to do for your child, I do not understand not doing for your kid, especially since Todd didn't even have Kayla. He's never had Kayla. And he didn't even know about her till she was well into her, I think it was like 6, 7, 8. So he would want to do something extra for her, but he doesn't. I want to say this because Kayla was dropping dimes and they ignored her. I was really disgusted at the conversation. Kayla said, my relationship with you is more like business. If you are a parent that cares, that should tug at your heartstrings. The fact that Todd heard her say that and was like, yeah, I'm trying to make you strong. I have high expectations for you. Well, it's clear that Kayla doesn't have high expectations for you because you won't even acknowledge her feelings in this moment. The only thing that you wanted to talk about was planning, and I'm just like, I go back to Riley. Riley wasn't playing. Riley actually cut her off to double back on she expects her money up front. Everything from Riley was giving me Mama Joyce. Everything from Riley in this moment was screaming Mama Joyce. She wasn't having it. I felt bad for Kayla. I'm glad that Candy stood her ground, because to me, I was clowning with Gabor today on his live, and he was talking about the only time Kayla and Riley saw each other was when they came down, and I was like, but they didn't come down the same way. I was like, Riley rode first class, and Kayla rode coach, and Gabor was like, nah, Kayla rode the mega bus. And you're right. Riley probably had a private jet from New York to Atlanta to shoot her scene, and Kayla was on the Greyhound. Poor Kayla. Poor Kayla. Poor Kayla. Oh, wait, I got a super chat. Oh, it says, I understand that, but that conversation should have been off camera because it degrades her husband. She married him, so she should protect him, unless he's trying to disrespect him on camera. That is true. I wrote down disrespectful of Bravo. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I like Todd, but something about Todd, I really, from my bottom of my heart, I feel like Todd would do to them children what Candy Spelling did to her children. Candy Spelling, if you guys don't know, Tori Spelling's dad is worth $600 million. When the dad died or passed away, Candy was worth $600 million. She left her daughter $800,000. I could see Todd doing this. I could see Todd doing this. This is this woman's mansion that she allegedly just sold to Erica Jane and Tom Girardi a couple years ago. I went over that allegation with you guys. Um, she left her daughter 800,000. Y'all could put in the chat. Could you see Todd nickel and diming Candy, Kayla, and the rest of them children? I feel like if God forbid, Candy were to pass, Todd would be in the strip club tricking off money left, tricking off Candy's money left and right. I'm just saying. So y'all can put in the chat, and for the replay gang, you guys put in the comments section, do you feel like Todd would be spending Candy's money frivolously and keeping it from the kids? Or do you think he would do right by Riley and Kayla? Oh, thank you so much, Shay. She sent a super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting my channel. Okay. Let's see. Same. Tori Spelling worked as a teenage life. She wasn't a spoiled trust fund date. Candy is wrong. I don't know what Larger Curves is talking about, but I am not putting this on my screen. But y'all can go to LRGA Curves comment, and I'm assuming it's some bedroom candy techniques that she's sharing in the chat. I don't know. What are we doing here, y'all? Okay, but I can read it because I'm messy. She says there is a technique where the man strokes in a figure 8 and it blows the mind while it touches all the walls. What is going on? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what y'all are talking about. Why is my channel always the ratchet nasty one? Are y'all talking about the rose? What's up, Lenithia? Okay. Again, I side with Candy, Riley, Kayla. Something about Todd says that he would trick off the money. Riley did say this: keep me accustomed to the lifestyle that I've grown accustomed. Y'all think about this. If Todd and Candy got a divorce, wouldn't that be the same thing he would tell the judge? Keep me in the same lifestyle that Candy has grown me accustomed to. I'm just saying. Moving on. What's up, AT2? I see you in the chat, buddy. What are you laughing at? Larger curves? Given a X class in anatomy? What are you laughing at? I was just imagining how Todd lays it down to get Corvettes, Rollies, and access to assets. Y'all, Candy always had like a nice car. Let's say Candy had $100,000 car from the moment we saw her. I remember she had like a nice Mercedes when we met her. She then moved on to like an Escalade. She's always had a nice car. Todd bought her a Bentley truck with her own money. I'll leave that right there. So we move on to Todd following up with Candy about this conversation. We won't get into everything. I do feel that Bravo was disrespectful for what they did to Todd. But I still think that Candy should do her own planning as it pertains to the money she wants to set aside for her children and how she wants to ration it out to them. Because I do not, in my heart of heart, believe that Todd would take care of them in the same way that Candy would. Then we get a little bit about Candy and her play. She cries a little bit. I do think that Candy is this kind of person who does want to help her community. I don't believe Candy's putting on airs when we see her crying all the time. So I like that scene. And then she kind of coddled her husband and let him know that let the audience know that that's why they're together, because he has her back. And Todd is a strong enough man to allow Candy to kind of like wear the pants in terms of the business, and he's there to be a support system, kind of like Greg. So, I'm here for it. We move on to Sonia. I I think Sonya has a nice house, but I think that Sonya could probably use Kenya's help because Sonya just throws together a lot of stuff. I don't know that it's necessarily cohesive. I don't know if the color scheme is cohesive, but you know, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Miss D Green, thank you so much for the super chat. She says Candy chose him though and had children with him. I agree with you. I don't think that Candy should belittle him, but I do think that some of those things, some of the points that were made in that conversation were true. I don't think Todd would take care of them kids in the same. Todd Todd had a fit when Candy bought her daughter a Porsche for her 18th birthday. It's just one of those things where just because you weren't raised with wealth doesn't mean that you're a better person than kids that are. Riley is obviously a good kid with a good head on her shoulders, and she has paid her dues being on this show. So but I get what you're saying, Miss D Green. Thank you so much for the super chat. Um, yeah, Sonya needs some help. The party was lackluster. We're not gonna get into all these details. We move on to Marlo. Everything out of this woman's mouth is Kenya. Everything out of Marlo's mouth is Kenya. I'm over it. Like, let it go. Marlo needs some form of attention that Kenya is not willing to give her. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna finish my review, but I'm gonna drop the link. We probably got another like 20 minutes. We're not doing a 2-hour show, guys. So I'm gonna finish it and then I'm gonna open it up to hear what you guys got to say. Can you Sonya talk about? Okay, so Kenya and Sonya have a conversation about Sonya hanging up on. Sorry, wrong thing. About Sonya hanging up on Kenya. I told you guys already. I do think that Kenya was putting 20 on 10, but Sonya, you need to watch your mouth because Kenya's not the one that you want to get on her bad side. I think Gabor was like, Kenya already cut you some slack, and you couldn't afford her, but she did a photo shoot for you and your business. So you might want to be a little bit nicer to Kenya. Sheree, she walks in. She looks pretty good. Not pretty good. Sheree looked great in this Gucci outfit, but was I the only one thinking, can Sheree afford this? Sheree, don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to keep up with Marlo. I don't know if Marlo rented this to you. I don't know if you bought it, but guys, this is a $3,500 suit. And it might even be more than this. Maybe this website is for used suits, but you don't need to try to keep up with the Joneses. Try to keep your money straight. Try to stay in your house, Sheree. You don't need to be spending money like this, but you look good. Marlo, at a certain point, shades Sheree. She's like, Sheree looks great for 60. Marlo is 46, 47 years old and looks Sheree's age. So you may want to back up off Sheree in that. Calling her 60 was not funny, not cute, not nothing. We get on to Sheree and Drew fighting. The only thing I could come up with was stupid. It's the fights that they have are stupid. The reads that they have are late. Sheree was, what did she say? I'm throwing tomatoes at you. I'm throwing tomatoes at you. And to me, it was like she's trying to be like Mariah. I will not come off my chariot and throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart. That's what it was given. When Mariah said this was iconic. What Sheree said, not so much. But I am interested to hear about what Facetune found in the background check. Because she's allegedly, there's a lot of aliases with Drew and her husband. So I don't know. I would be interested to hear. Maybe I'll reach out to Facetune. She seems thirsty for attention. I know she did an interview with Candy. She can't film anymore because she stole Drew's purse on that trip. So maybe I'll reach out to Facetune. I'll get her a drink and see if she talks to me. Last thing was these stupid rules. Another rookie mistake. These are grown, rich women. Most of them are millionaires. You don't need to do a checklist for this cash trip. Just be glad they gave you a cash trip. So we ain't reviewing that. What's up, Miss D Green, and what's up, Curbs?
Hi.
What's
Hey,
good? What's good?
what's up, Natasha? Somebody
Hi.
has. I hear echo.
Is it still?
No, it's gone.
Oh, so Sanya, she's a professor and a travel writer.
I hear
The
echo.
pointer?
That
I
is
think
that.
somebody has me turned up.
What?
Oh, prosperity is you, I think, right?
Have you what?
You have me turned up because whenever I speak, I can see your head moving. Hello? Yeah, it's gone now.
I
So
think
what's up?
that
What are your thoughts on the? What are your thoughts?
I think that first thing first for kin. Why am I echoing? Why are there three of me?
Um, there we go.
Okay, so I think that Kin's um freaking little blow up about the I'm not single and that was ridiculous. This is the same lady who let Apollo stick his entire hand in the crack of her ass as a single lady on the freaking trip when she was the only single one back in the day when she was the only single one on the trip, remember?
Speaking
And
of
he put
that,
her in the pool.
there's a latest blind where it says Phaedra is, well, it doesn't say Phaedra, but it says a housewife is hooking up with her ex, and a lot of people think it's Phaedra and Apollo.
Oh, I don't think so.
Curves is about to get blocked.
I was married.
Yeah. So I think that was all just another time when Kenya's trying to create a moment. You've been on plenty of trips as a single lady. You can go on this trip as a single lady or with a friend. That was too much to
Right?
handle.
Her entire
Who are
career.
you?
Soldiers.
Who is
She's
she?
soldiers person. Look through it.
Okay, and it also proves my other point about from Marlo's trip. When I said Ken should have stayed her ass at home from Marlo's trip instead of driving late and starting funk when she got there, everybody's like, "Oh, but she gotta get paid." Oh, but
Curves is heated.
and now she's the one saying, "Well, I don't have to go if I have to be with somebody," and then so she didn't have to go to Marlo's. There, I said it. I said it. And the figure eight is an excellent technique, by the way.
What were you talking about? I mean,
Keep
without getting me
going. So
demonetized,
that was just
what were you?
bull.
I was thinking that I'm wondering, like, because Todd, he's kind of cute, but he's not like overly like, oh my God, let me drop my panties for him. So I'm wondering
Maybe his
yeah,
under region might be.
yeah, like I'm like that peen must be off the hook for her
I
to
don't
just
even
be
think it's
like,
that.
I just
I
said
think
under
that
region. What?
Candy really wanted a husband. I really think that Candy really wanted a husband. I think she knows full well what she's doing. I think she has her paperwork in order, and I think that she understands the situation that she is in.
Oh.
yeah, well,
I don't think he's
because
playing
his mom
Candy
told
at
her.
all. If anything, Candy is playing him and using him up to take care of those kids.
Yeah, and I don't agree with Aaron. Like, you
No,
don't disrespect your husband on national television, especially if that's something you wanted. Because she's even spoken about that, like how she wished she was married and Riley was able to be raised in a two-parent home before. Okay, when you get that, you don't play around with it.
He's
I
not
take
Riley's
marriage
father.
personally. I take
I'm
marriage.
not really understanding what the disrespect is. This is the reality. He does not have the money that Candy has. And he knew
Okay,
that
well
going
then
into
you have
the
that
situation.
conversation separate because you've been doing this for how many years? You know how shady the producers can be. There's just certain things you don't allow to go on camera about your
They're on a
spouse that
reality
can come off
show.
disrespectful.
They're on
You
a
don't see
That's
any of
reality
true.
these
show.
other housewives disrespecting their
He
husband
knows
like
what the
that.
show is. He knows what the show is. I don't understand what she did that was disrespectful. Please tell me.
She's allowing it to happen. She's not
But
protecting her husband.
what are you talking? But what happened? All they did was say what his assets were. I'm very confused about this whole
And you
thing.
don't find that to
What,
be disrespectful, but that they use that as a comparative analysis between the
that's
two to
his
try to shade
asset.
him?
That's his assets. Nobody's degrading him. That is reality. I'm tired of coddling these men. I'm tired of this
Well,
mess.
I don't have issues with men like that. I love my husband. I would never disrespect him on television like that.
I
me
mean,
neither.
Period.
I
I
can
see
see
I
what
don't
both
you're
understand
saying.
sides.
how it's disrespectful.
I
It's
see. Wait,
reality.
can I say this, Callie?
I mean, I don't
I
like
think what
Todd, but I
she's
can see how that
saying,
could be
but I
disrespectful.
think what Callie's saying is she doesn't find it disrespectful because at the end of the day, Candy doesn't have any say so as to what production ends up doing. She
Exactly.
had no knowledge that they were going to put that list up there after they shot the scene. And there's nothing that she can do about it now that they did it. So it
Mhm.
technically is not her fault. We got to stop blaming us for everything that people do. Like we can't
But how
control and
long has she been
protect
on the
everything.
show?
Yeah, it's not so. It's just protect your husband. Like certain topics, like
She
that could have
knows
been
how
discussed
this show
off
goes.
camera. Legacy
Well,
planning,
but
asset
that was a
division,
good
that could have been
topic to
discussed
have.
off camera
No.
because it
Misty
No,
can
Green,
lead to that.
That was up to
Misty
him to
Green,
say that.
do
He
you
should have
think
Todd
said
is
that
he
just
it?
was
as
older
eager to
than
be on
Candy.
Hold
camera as
on,
Candy wants him to be.
one second, Misty Green. Do you think that it's important as a black person to have these kind of conversations and put that on Front Street so that we can say, are we actually doing this enough? You know what I mean? I thought that the mindset was good. Just from my, I like that Candy tries. I get what you're saying though. It was disrespectful to her husband,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I did
Yes,
not watch her. I did not watch her speak on it. But I'm interested to know if she addressed it and speak on it because that would be something that I would think would be favorable for Todd if she spoke on it. If she didn't speak on it, then yikes, that's pretty bad, Candy.
she did, and A1 hosted it this week. But yes, I
Oh,
do agree those conversations should be had. There's just the way you do it. And she chose Todd. It's like, let's get over that whole
But she
storyline that
didn't
he's
do
a
anything
deadbeat and
with
he's lower than her.
Todd.
She chose him. She married him. She had children with him. Respect the institution.
But what
Period,
did
point blank.
Todd is Todd is just as
I
eager to
don't
be on
understand
camera
what
as
she did.
Candy wants him to be on camera. So he knows how this goes. He knows how these producers are. Todd wants to be on camera, so she's not disrespecting him. It's just the way they put it together. She can't
right.
control what they
But
edit
there
and
is
what
a
they don't edit,
history. There is a
and
history
it's
of her
because of
allowing Todd
editing.
to be disrespected
That's
from
No,
the
true.
moms
Todd
to the
is a
family members. And I just don't like seeing that,
41-year-old
especially as a
man.
black family. I don't
He
like seeing
needs
that
to
on
stand
television.
up for
who
himself. That is
who
not for
is
Candy
busy?
to do. He can
Who
say,
is
I'm
busy
sorry, I'm
reading?
not going to have this on camera. Todd is a man. This is ridiculous. Candy did nothing to this man. She did not speak to him disrespectfully.
At
She
all.
didn't do anything to him.
Mm-hmm.
At
If
all.
he didn't want that on TV, he shouldn't have filmed the scene. He is older than Candy. A lot of people don't know they have an age difference.
How
And
much
he's a producer. He
difference?
How
came
old?
from
How old
production.
is he?
He's
How old is
several years
Todd?
older than her. He's in his 50s, I think.
Oh
No,
wow,
he looks good.
Yes, he is. He's in his
he
50s.
does look good.
Who is busy
That's true.
talking about?
He
Who's who talking about?
Who is busy blue talk? Who are you calling Drew busy? That's
Oh,
a
I
read.
kept saying that. Who's Drew? Is Drew here?
I don't know. Okay, what were you saying?
Yeah, I don't think that they have any control over those little edits and stuff. Because on another show, they always put the lady, it's a rental house, and that's equally as shady, and that's all production. So yeah, somebody does need to talk to production about the level of disrespect with their little shady, like pins
But
and stuff.
remember, Todd came from.
Oh, he's 49.
Make it make sense. I think he's talking about Miss Green. You know, Drew always picks up for the husbands until the while that they need to have babies and things. I think that's what
Oh,
he's referencing.
Who you talking about
Hey,
busy?
baby.
What's going on? I was like, look, I was in the comments and I had to get on. I
Who are
had to
you
get
talking
on.
about? Who's
Her,
Drew?
Like I said, Miss
more
Green.
than one, more than one. So this is what I feel. One, I thought this was a great
Here we
conversation to
go.
have online. But two, the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. These are the assets. Three, Bravo controls her likeness on this show. You
Exactly.
ain't no, I'm gonna protect him. She need to protect her husband. She wrote her likeness away to them and her family's likeness away to them. And whenever she come on the screen, if they want to put farting noise every time that a child walks into the room, she'll say about what can go on. I don't think that it was a bad
Thank
thing.
you.
They've been doing this for a long time. They have called time worse things. And it goes in line with the things that we have called before. And they ain't make up anything new. They haven't said anything new. He should praise the editors for keeping on the same broke narrative. They didn't do anything new. They didn't do anything different.
Do
I
the
don't think that
husbands
there's
on
anything.
this show get paid? The way that Jersey husbands get paid?
No,
No,
but they
only
don't
Jersey.
have to come onto the show.
They need to pay these husbands. That I didn't know
That's
that.
true. They could have put those shady
That is
stats on
racism
anything.
and
He
discrimination.
could have been mowing the lawn and they could have flashed it.
Exactly. Todd doesn't need to be on the show if he feels that
That's why
saying that
He could have
That's why I
literally been
said
getting
he doesn't need to
mail.
be on the
So
show.
she doesn't need the money. So if you're going to be on the show with your family and you have all that clout, she's got seniority. It's like just,
But is that reality? But is that reality for real?
oh,
To
come
not
on.
want more money? Is that really reality? To because she got money, she shouldn't want more money? Like who doesn't want more money?
He broke. He
And if he's
broke.
willing
Like,
to
he
sit there and
broke. He
take
But
broke.
it,
she
don't think
chose
Todd
him
has
knowing he
a
was
problem.
broke.
No,
She didn't
Todd
choose
One
never
him
at a
said
knowing
he
he
time.
was
has a
broke to be
problem.
disrespected.
One at a time, people, please.
Todd never said he has a problem with it. The audience seems to have a problem with it. If you remember,
exactly.
Todd set Candy as being a producer on the show. So he knows what goes on. He is very fully aware. And then he's produced other reality shows after this. He had something to do with the Encore. So Todd is all with the stuff. So let's not make it seem like he's a victim. He don't know how this works, this, that, and third. He's getting what he needs to get, which is his wife's name out there so her money can get bigger and they can continue to build their brand and their legacy together.
Okay,
I
fine.
personally
You
still
might
was
be onto
happy that they
something.
had the conversation about estate planning because I don't know about nobody else. In my real life, I don't know people that pass away and end up having GoFundMe's. But here on this here internet, I'm tired of people passing away and you gotta have GoFundMe's to bury them. That is
Exactly.
ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to pass the hat when you close your eyes.
Policies are everywhere, y'all. Get them. I just saw somebody yesterday. It was so sad on the side of the freeway with a picture of his daddy up on poster board talking about, I need to bury him. Can you give me $1? And it could have been a joke, but that's a horrible joke to play. And I've seen it more than once. Y'all need to get your life insurance together. Don't have the people out here begging to bury you.
I have an important question. I have a really
And why is
important
it so
question.
expensive
Hold on
to
one
get
second.
buried?
Hold on 1 second, Natasha, really quick. This is super important. Would you, Busy, go ahead and buy
Oh my God.
the print
Oh,
jogger?
Oh.
Without a
that is
doubt.
horrible.
First of all, I feel like the world deserves.
He's like, I pre-ordered them now.
Yep, I got them already.
False
Called up. I would definitely purchase without a doubt, without a question.
I hate
I'm a nudist by trade, but I really do. I would buy them
Most
without a doubt.
couples are not attractive. You guys start running, they start jiggling different ways. It's like
It's just the gray shows the sweat,
Busy,
which
just
is
check your
questionable.
credit card receipt because it is masquerade. Check your credit
That
card
is
receipt,
true.
please.
That
It
part's
is
true.
correct.
So, okay, for the ladies, so Busy, I found out, I did a little research. That isn't even Sheree's original thought. They already exist.
No way.
I'm
Print
sure she
jo-
had an acronym for it, like it
Print
was in a
joggers.
business.
Print joggers already exist. So I'm really disappointed. I thought maybe she'd come up with something. Ladies,
She's not that clever.
would you like a
Exactly.
camel toe?
Okay.
No.
What in
No,
the
thank
Phaedra
you.
Parks
No.
is this?
Camel toes
That
are
is-
sexy.
No,
Yo.
we don't do that.
Phaedra, is
That's
that
not
a
on
Phaedra
me.
Parks
We don't
line?
do that.
Speechless.
That was a favorite
My
part.
mouth was literally
She
open.
loves
She
a
loves the
camel toe.
camel toe.
And it's a deep camel toe at that. It's not even oops,
It would
I got a
create too
camel
big
toe.
of
Let me
a
fix it.
natural
That is a
mound, I
deep
feel
camel
like.
toe. Like
And they
that looks like the thing. They look like a jock cup. What?
It would, yeah, it would not look like you were a natural born
it
female.
looks like it might produce yeast.
Yep. Monostat
A lot of
7.
Mhm.
Okay, so y'all don't want the camel toe. Okay.
No.
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 Well, at least not that deep of a camel toe. It
Thank
sounds
you.
like.
The accidental one, sure, but a
Yeah,
deep
the
one,
crater
no.
should not be going that low
That's like a deep V. Like that's
under any
sticking somewhere.
circumstances.
Phaedra and Khloe Kardashian are big proponents for camel toes.
We
We
know.
don't care.
If you put
we
if you
know.
put her bedroom, the thing that had the remote control to it, if you put that in there, you're gonna have the time of your life,
Oh my
Prodigy.
God.
But that thing, it got to be deep up in there. It has to be. I'm sorry.
Oh my
It has to be.
Get pregnant.
Jesus.
You would literally get pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
What is going on in these comments? Okay, so what else did you guys think? We talked about
Marlo.
Marlo. We talked about Marlo and my feelings on it, but what were your feelings? 'Cause I'm tired of her exploiting these children.
She needs to go. She needs to go.
Yes.
She needs to go. I'm tired of people saying she's had these kids for years. She deserves a break. If you need a break, why does that have to be your storyline? Why does downing these kids have to be your storyline? This lady has said nothing nice about these kids in her storyline. Her storyline is how
Yeah, can
awful
you
they are.
imagine the
They punch holes in
embarrassment?
my walls. They don't take baths. They
Embarrassed.
don't respect me. They don't
Yeah.
do this. It's nothing good that comes out of her mouth about these kids, and it's wrong. She was a freaking foster child. She knows how it feels not to be wanted. So for you to then go and turn, not
Agree,
only did you
Shan.
do it to them, you gave his sisters, you gave your sister back. This is your MO. This is what you do. You want the praise for doing it, but then when it gets hard, you don't want to do it anymore. And that's not how this goes, baby. This is not how it goes. That's your family at that. Who doesn't want to give their family the best life that they can? If you got all you so rich, you just rich, why not share it? I'm still mad at her making them kids go to the laundromat. I know you got a washer and dryer in that house. But you make them
Todd
kids
told
go to
her
a
to
damn
do it.
laundromat.
She
Like
was
their
taking she
clothes
was,
Yeah,
aren't
she
that's
was
good enough
taking
to
Todd.
be in
advice
your
from
washing machine.
Todd.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
agree. Family is more important than television because at the end of the day, when it's over, that's who you go back to. So it is
I
very
think that
important
this
And
what you
she
put on the
and she
screen.
did this thinking that we would talk, that we would up talk her. She thought that it would be some dumb person out here that would be like this. Yes, go ahead, Marlo. She's tired. No, no.
I don't know.
Nobody's
Well,
going
I
after this. It's not
think
to
mean,
make
it's
you look
more
good.
nuanced than that. I think it's more nuanced than that. Like one throughout this series, y'all remember when Bryson he was getting arrested and when Nene yelled at him,
Hmm.
"You don't even take out the trash." Okay, you come in here and you don't even say hello. Um,
Hmm.
but they feature their children and what they're doing and how their lives are. It's a part of their lives. We talk
Hmm.
about. I don't watch the white ones, but we've talked about Grace and how she's doing in school and how she messed up Candace's car driving. Like the kids have been a part of the people's story
Oh
and
yeah.
what's going on with them.
Hmm.
But
I
it's usually positives.
I
It's
yeah, I
normally
was gonna say
positive.
because
some
Right.
someone,
Yeah,
and
it's
maybe
usually
I
like
forgot
fun
because
and
someone pointed
lighthearted.
out.
sometimes, but I also feel like knowing Marlo with what she's going through. Now I've taken in family members before, and I haven't been able to give them back. Okay, because I took him in. I took
And
him
they
in too
grown.
old. Yeah, I took him in too old. I was trying to help out cousins and brothers, and then it was like we squatters, not like you. I took him in too late, and it got smart. But I understand when it gets
They had
hard, it
their
gets
meal
hectic,
delivered.
and you are trying to, guard your peace. You don't know what it's like to be a parent. You're not a parent. You haven't been a parent before. You don't want your stuff messed up. You're trying
Yeah.
your best to raise someone, uplift them, give them the best life, but then you're also seeing they ain't doing it right. I take a cell phone back to be like, girl, this is not what I thought I bought. It's not doing what I wanted it to do. And if she didn't birth them, she knows everything that's going on. She has a village that she can lean on. Girl, all they messing up my house. They putting holes in the walls, and I didn't give birth to them. So for 30 days, they're gonna have to go. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
stressed. I'm depressed. I'm trying to sell these used clothes. And here they are putting stuff in the closet. I saw this in the attic. There's a hole in the wall. Nobody's listening to anything. Got to go. Gotta
This
go.
was this was from Law Archive. I
Oh
pulled up
my.
the
I
archive
mean,
website.
Oh, is
I
that
think
I
it's
think
also
it
because
shows.
Gucci from Gucci?
Marlo has it confused. What she doesn't realize, she's taking it personal that they're doing this to her and they're disrespecting her and not grateful for what she's doing. What she doesn't realize is this is motherhood. This is especially that
Yeah.
phase of teenagers.
Mhm.
Don't no teenager want to clean up their room. Most teenagers are slick with the mouth and disrespectful. I don't care how much you gave them, how much you did. You be like, who you talking to?
Right.
Me and my daughter get
Especially
She
when they've
into
been
it.
right.
through a
But
lot.
Yeah,
she's
we
not
get
the
into it.
mom.
I
The
was
Yeah,
joys
about
we
of
to
get
say
being an
she's not a
aunt and
mother though, so
uncle
I'll
is
give
that
her
you
that.
can
that's what I'm saying.
take the
She
kids
doesn't
and
know,
give them
so
back.
right.
She
She's
called
thinking
herself
she's
Muncie,
taking it
right?
personal, and it's not personal. This is just what kids do. So
Yeah.
stop losing your mind and thinking that they owe you some more gratitude and be different than what they're being. They're being teenagers, and that's just what they do. They
Yeah, she's
all are
making
like
it
that,
about her.
whether they're spoiled or not spoiled. Me and my daughter get into it all the time. She thinks she shouldn't have to clean because we have a cleaning person. If you don't clean up this room before she get here, she's like, oh, but it'll get clean tomorrow. No, it's gonna get clean right now because you're not gonna keep my house like that. That's
Right.
what we do. I'm not raising you to just think someone else is supposed to do it. And she knows that, been born and raised with me all her life. And we still have that argument. No, you can't go nowhere until that's done. And like it or love it, you could be mad or not mad. I don't care. Get it done, and then you could go on about your business. Marlo's taking it too personal. She
And
thinks
she's
that
playing it up for the camera.
yeah,
as well.
exactly. But then
Busy.
also, I agree with everything you said before about how you can't just give the kids back and this, that, and third. But the one thing I will say, I don't think it's just for the cameras, because I used to follow her on her, like when she used to do her lives and stuff, and she really was struggling. She really was asking for help and for people to tell her she's doing something wrong, and she was
Yeah.
confused and
Outside of
this, that, and the
TV,
third.
she was asking
Yeah,
for advice.
exactly. Outside of the TV, she really had been struggling for a while. This was before she got her peach, so she been struggling
It
for
was
a
still
minute.
the camera there.
Oh,
So she's
Busy.
showing her
Chance, right?
reality then.
I want to say something, and then we got to let Kai talk because I don't think I think we are all so passionate about this.
Yes,
But
very passionate.
in terms of like Marlo, we have to give these kids credit because without them, I don't think Marlo would have gotten her peach. The only thing that Marlo has
Exactly.
actually shown about her real life is fashion. This man, her one date on the show, and now these kids. So she can say whatever she wants, but I guarantee if she had not become a Muntie, Marlo would not have gotten a peach.
I
Maybe
feel
not.
nah. I
And
think
it
she would.
seems
She's selling
like this
T-shirts
was
too that say
part of
Muncie
the
on it.
plan.
Marlo is there so that Ken can pretend to be a villain, and they
Do
can
y'all
have
hear somebody?
a new villain, darling. You need a new villain, darling. It'll be Marlo, and now Ken can play Angel, and everybody else has their roles also.
That curves Diana impression.
Yes, yes.
And
You
she's
need
dumb
a
enough to play the villain, so she gets what she gets. She deserves it because she's playing the part very well.
I don't, and I think I think we need to create a space. I said it before. We need to create a space in society where when a person asks for help, they get the help. She said she needs 30 days. It's not for us to judge. She obviously needed 30 days. If she was on social media asking strangers what to do, that lady needed 30 freaking days, y'all. And she was smart enough to ask for it, smart enough to have a village to do it, kept the kids out the system, and is still providing for them. What is the freaking problem? Just because nobody
And
on the
stressed her sister out in the doing of giving those
Yeah,
kids to the
but
village.
now she's going to therapy. Like it's
Well,
not even
I
hopefully
thought
that
it was my
she
turn to
kicked
talk.
them
she
out
gave some
and
money.
then
Sorry.
oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Kai.
sorry. Go
Oh yeah,
ahead, Kai.
Kai's gonna come
Please,
guns
Kai.
blazing.
No, I'm going to try to not talk that fast. I'm going to try, but let me know because I know it's
Kai,
an
do
issue
you?
everywhere on the
Kai, do
YouTube.
you?
No, we
Do
like
you?
it.
Okay, I'm gonna brush this real quick. The point of like the money. I don't think the conversation was disrespectful. I think Bravo was disrespectful, but the people having the conversation wasn't, because I feel like Black families need to have an honest conversation. And if I'm against me, I'm 25. Me and my mom and my stepdad and my grandparents, we have conversations about money, life insurance policies, and all. I'm involved in that, so I think that was a nice conversation to have. I also think that it really showed to me. I think Todd played himself because it shows that his mentality has not changed. I came from like a general middle class background. The school I went to, Kennedy's went to. A girl, her father was a C-suite at Twitter. Her 21st birthday party had Zed and Charlie Puth DJing at. I graduated college and I was at the airport. My grandma told this older white gentleman that I graduated
Girl,
from this
you're
college.
rich. Get to the point.
Can you let me speak? I missed this point, did I not? And I think this is important. Thank you very much.
Kai, don't pay him any attention. He's playing with you. That's how he plays.
I know, I watch him too, but I thought it was on a nice roll, not he really just annoyed me at that moment in time. But I'm letting you know that a man who owned his own company gave my grandma his business card just from the school I went to.
Yeah.
So I feel like Todd doesn't understand networks. I feel
Well,
like
Todd
why
got a
is
broke
one,
mentality.
and that's my point, because it's like I was helping my friend start a startup. You know how many people I like met who are in like state regulators and all that kind of stuff just from the school I went to, and I was still middle class. So I think Todd doesn't really understand the idea that he is forcing his daughter to try to be a big pond and a little fish where he can help her more. I know people who have a corporate job and their parents still pay for their apartment. Not saying that everyone should have to, but if you have the money to, why not let your children be able to truly explore themselves, get whatever careers they want to get, figure out what they like in life in their younger 20s, and you're still able to take care of them if you're able to. I completely understand if you can't, but it's just so weird to see him force one child to do it when he knows the rest of them are not going to. I think it's very off-putting, and I also, again, it just shows his mentality of not understanding like networking at a certain tax bracket, and then also truly setting up your children, because it's like he's getting Kayla to start from the bottom. He said Kayla's paying his bills. We don't think Kayla has 3 or 4 roommates. For all we know, Kayla's in a sweatbox in New York, and yes, she's paying for bills.
A shoebox in the Lower East Side.
So, do you think that he thinks of Kayla different than, because he has 2 children who are living a really good life? He had a whole trailer with video games, and does he look at Kayla like she's not a part of the family? Because I would feel
I
that
don't think
way.
it's that. I think those are
He acts like he resents her a little bit.
There's no attachment. He met her later in life.
But
They're
he
still
thinks
building
so
that.
proud
Like
of her
he
work.
resents her a little bit.
Now she did
Like,
look good in this
a little
one.
bit of his money.
Riley's wig is a little, disheveled, but
y'all,
Kayla did look good in this one.
Dangerous. Because
It is.
Kayla is around the entertainment industry, and there are guys that will turn her out. Period.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
I mean,
well, it's just,
I don't think that he really understands the reality of what he is doing for Kayla to be in that environment and for him to be doing what he's doing.
You read Portia's book. She said you got to grind to this is the regular thing. You got to get your way up.
There are
Side
men
note.
that will be like, look, what your daddy won't get for you, I'll get it for you. And the next thing you know, she's in an abusive relationship. He
Let's
is
hope,
doing something
Callie, let's
very
hope not.
dangerous.
yes,
But it
but
could
my main.
happen.
Let's hope. I just said let's hope not. Kayla just
I like weirdly
graduated
can
from
only hear Kai.
Diddy's
What?
baby mama's school of
Everyone's
fashion.
muted.
Who's
What?
muted? Are we
Who-
muted?
Can
No,
you
we're
hear me?
not. I can hear all
I was
y'all.
trying to talk, but then I don't talk as loud as some people. So
Wait,
No, I
Oh no, my
I
bad.
I
wanna
think
hear
there's
your
something
monthly
wrong. Like I
comment.
weirdly, like literally only hear you. Like everyone is muted. I'm seeing their
that's
mouths
weird.
move.
no, I can hear everybody. Don't jinx me because we have problems.
Like
at
that
I wanna
wasn't
hear the
like a
monthly
dig.
comment,
Like I
Kat.
literally.
Okay, so
No,
we're pretty split on that. I thought that people would have sided with Tide in that. I mean, I thought people would have sided with Candy in this because they knew Tide. But I'm surprised to hear so many people are feeling like Tide had a point of view that was.
the point on giving them money sparsed out is smart, but I think Riley knows that. Like, I think there's 2 separate things of like the trust and then also my what the lifestyle I've come accustomed to. You can still pay for their lifestyle and them not getting like the trust. Like those could still be 2 separate things. And so in general, though, she doesn't trust him to be able to. Because I'm like, how you gonna go to NYC? Everyone knows who your mom is, and then you want me to live in some raggedy apartment. I can understand. why
That's true.
why
That would be embarrassing.
no, I
It's
had
not
friends
only
who
embarrassing, it's dangerous. These are girls. Even Wendy Williams said that a man tried to turn her out when she was in college, and it happened to me multiple times. I think that men are very naive about the world.
That's
There are
true.
men that will pull up and be like, look, I can tell that your parents are not doing anything for you. You want me to buy you a car?
I literally almost got kidnapped in Yellow Cat
Yeah.
3. And I had to pull some fake lie that I like literally watched on CSI just to like save
That
myself.
happened to Daryl Hannah as well. She almost got kidnapped too. I think that men, I mean, my dad
He literally
was
said,
like,
"You're not
"Hey,"
going home."
He was just naive about
That's
this stuff.
crazy.
There are men look for women, young women who are in environments where everyone is rich and she doesn't have as much, and they see that door in, they might be a pimp, they might be abusive, anything.
A cult.
Yeah, a cult.
Hold on one
Yeah.
second. Thank you so much, Fifi. She says I stand
Yeah,
with
'cause
Tide. These ungrateful kids. Thank you so much for
but they're
supporting
ungrateful
this.
for wanting what's in their life. They're ungrateful for
And you
wanting
would
what's
have
in their
got
life.
away
I
with
don't
it
understand
if it
that.
wasn't for the meddling viewing audience.
Okay,
It's not
but I'm gonna
black
move
and
on.
white per usual.
I'm gonna move on to Marlo real quick. I'm sorry. I think it could be real, but the way she's exploiting it is what makes me sick. I'm 25 and I understand what she's doing is wrong. She could need to break all she wants to, but then she should have had a family meeting saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna send you to your aunt's for each weekend this week or something like that. If she was on the internet crying, asking for help, I'm very confused now why she's just now seeing a parenting coach. If she was afraid of being her mom, I'm confused why when she got those boys, why she didn't put everyone in counseling, why she didn't seek parenting coaching.
True.
It just seems very strange to me that she is so hyper aware of all of her faults. I think she says her faults just to make people feel bad for her, but she doesn't do any work to actually fix them. So for me, if you're telling me that you said you didn't want to have kids because of your mom, yet you did nothing to try to improve yourself while you took people in and she called herself a Monty. She's the one who said mom and aunt. So if you're a Monty, I thought you would have put the work into doing so. And I can't see myself sending 2 kids who I've now had accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and I'm gonna ship them over to my sister's where she has 4 toddlers, and either they're living a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. Either way, it's not big enough for all of those people. So I think what also sticking to me is like it is for us to judge because she is seeking pity from all the women and us, the viewing audience. It's not she's just showing us her life. Yeah.
Did she think it was going to be this long? Did she think it was going to be this long, though? Like she said, I thought I was taking her in for a month. They called, I got them. Okay, then one month turned to a year. Then 1 year turned to 2. And then I felt like she really was
busy.
about
She
her sister
also said she didn't want to send them back.
These kids.
She also said, but she didn't want to send them back after the years that they kept going. She was like, I didn't want to send them, and I didn't want to send them back either. But that's what it was. So you didn't want to send them back, but you're willing to, and you're stressed and you're so burdened. But how do you feel like your sister feels being having 4 kids already? And now you got 2 more kids over there, and they done already said one of the kids gave the kids melatonin, and by the time she got home from work, everybody was damn sleep except for him because he was tired and he didn't want to be a babysitter. So to say that you and then to be selfish and send somebody extra children, that's wrong.
No, I
Marlo,
your sister talking
did her sister get out of prison or
no? She's talking about her younger sister. She's talking about her younger sister.
So why would she think it was so short-lived? This whole watching thing.
I think the issue is her private life. I think the issue is her private life. I think that Marlo needs to pull her dates with her Johns at a hotel and let them nephews just take care of themselves for that night and then come back the next morning. We know
she meant she couldn't hang her Confederate flag.
Or have her sister come stay the night that night.
We know why Marlo had that thing going up, that chair rail going up her stairs.
Oh my God.
Those things are fun. My friend's grandma used to have one.
Yeah, but she could hire.
Also, I'm just gonna say, like the things she was complaining about made no sense. It was very basic.
Guys, I think it's a little more complex than that. I think that what it is, Marlo is thinking, okay, what issues did I have when I was a child? I was lacking materialistic things, which then caused my mother not to give me love. So if I had the chance to do what for myself, what wasn't done for me to someone else, I would be grateful and everything in my life would have been fine. I think she thinks that if she gave these boys what she's given them, that everything should be fine. She doesn't realize every child is different and that every child goes through different things and has different issues. So she's really confused as to why what she's doing is not good enough and why is this harder than what she thought it was going to be. She has no idea that this is just what it is when you deal with children, especially teenagers. Teenagers literally lose their mind and then find it somewhere later on and come back to who they normally are. They're no different than everybody else. But she's thinking, why isn't it enough? That's
Give
what it
the
is.
lady 30 days. My mama used to send me down to Florida all summer. Okay,
summer, not in the middle of you going to school.
She was like, "Look, and I was tired of it. And sometimes she was like, Mom, can I come back? Nope, no, you cannot."
She didn't tell the world.
I'm sure she was. Oh, please, the way my mom used to talk trash about me on the phone.
She didn't tell the world.
Had the nerve to say, and I'll be right in the room.
Right.
The summer and your school period are very different. Let's not act like summer break is not interrupting someone's life. She sent them in the middle of school.
Yeah, but
so please don't act like the summer is the same thing.
Enough trauma.
My life is here. Why are you sending me away? Because
it's really important for children to have like structure and reliability, and uprooting them every 5 seconds when you get tired is just going to be just as traumatic.
It's only
that's
this one time.
That's what Toya does. That's a problem. Don't be
It's this
uprooting
one
children.
time. Can the lady get 30 days?
You have a
Busy, I never
point.
thought about what
Hold on
you
one
said,
second, Autumn.
but
Hold on
that
one
makes
second, guys.
sense.
Busy has a point. You can. My mom did send me away for the summer as well every
Summers are
year.
different.
The difference with that is Marlo didn't have to tell the viewing audience why she sent them away.
Facts.
Marlo is using this for a storyline because she doesn't want to share
They're going
anything
to school.
significant. Hold on one second, Natasha.
But that's a part of her
Anything-
reality, right? Wouldn't she share that? Because that's a
But
part of
it's
her
the
reality.
only it's the only reality she's sharing. She's utilizing these kids for a storyline. We don't know anything about her. I have shown you guys the picture of her John from 10 years ago. That's the only thing she shared. Period. So now you
I
got,
agree.
oh, I'm a Monty. I'm a Monty.
I
I'm a
agree,
Monty.
but
Oh, I
that's
love
her
these
reality,
kids.
right? And that's the justification when things come up like that. This is what's going on in their life.
I think
right?
she's using these children. I really do. I think this is a storyline. I'm not even sure if a lot of these things are really happening. I really think she's using these kids for a storyline, and it's not cool. I mean, I understand that the other people use their children, but the problem is everything she's showing about these young men is negative and it's embarrassing. Everything.
Oh yeah, I don't like it. I don't agree with it not one bit.
They're
Right.
so smart.
Yeah.
They you know, we don't even know what they want to be when they grow up. Everything is negative, and she's embarrassing the heck out of them
Oh
on television.
Lord. Oh, y'all, we gotta highlight this comment. The remixer says, how does Marlo have an entire foundation dedicated to displaced
Thank
kids,
you.
and then she goes and
Thank
displaces her
It's
nephews?
30 days. They're coming back. Like, she
You know how
didn't
you know
put
how
them in the
quickly
red
trauma
box.
sets in
Busy,
for
they
They
were
people.
are
gone longer
coming
than 30
back.
days.
Listen,
Busy, they were gone longer than 30 days. They're still
Oh my
gone.
God, do you know how
But she
quickly
don't
people
have
can
to
get
deal with those
traumatized by
other
something?
displaced children continuously.
They went
And
with their
also,
cousins.
people can be
They with their
traumatized so
cousins.
quickly. You acting
Yeah,
like
but
because of 30 days,
I
it
don't
could have
think
been a
Marlo
weekend,
is
and the way
healed
she
from
did
her
it could have tore those
trauma.
kids up.
But I don't
No,
think
she's not
Marlo's healed from her trauma.
at
She
all.
And
still got
that's
some
why she
problems.
shouldn't have did
Yeah,
it.
but she didn't have to do it
And
so
that's why she shouldn't have,
embarrassingly.
and
her
that's why
kids
she shouldn't have did it.
Y'all putting a lot. Y'all putting a
Look,
lot.
I
I
don't
hope none of
agree,
y'all
but
ever need to put give y'all child away today. Say, look, I just need a week. I hope y'all never have to do it because y'all putting a lot on this. Y'all putting well, it's 30 days. It's 30,
I
and
ain't
she's
gonna
had them for
not as much.
3-4 years.
Well, no, for me, the 30 days is not the problem because I used to stay with my aunt or grandparents all
Thank
the time.
you.
The problem is that she's embarrassing them like this on
Yeah,
television.
agreed.
Everything.
I agree with that part.
Everything.
but that's her reality.
all kids can say
I would not do
raised
that
for
to my
guardians
nephew.
are
And I got
embarrassing
one
at
nephew
some
that-
time. So embarrassment isn't a reason.
Callie is
You
trying to talk.
their parents, right?
We can't hear both.
Oh no,
What did you
go
say?
ahead. No, what I was saying is that I have many nieces and nephews. I would not get on a reality show and start this constant, especially my nephews that are underage. At that age, embarrass them like that. I don't have a problem with the 30 days. A lot of people do that. My issue is everything we hear about these young men is negative. And it's
I agree with
embarrassing.
that.
They have to go to school with other kids. Like, this is not okay.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I think it comes down to her delivery, how she went about it.
And also
But I
sending them
will
to
be
somebody
the
that got
first
4
one to
kids
say,
already.
I will be the first one to say, I
If
did, when it first came out, I did say something about her wanting to take 30 days and you can't just send kids away. And it was because of how she did it. But now after listening to Busy, it put it into a different perspective for me because, yeah, kids do go away for the summer. And if you have a 2-parent household, you're not the only one doing it. So you could bounce off of each other.
right,
And if you're not in a 2-parent household, then most of the time your kids go to the other parent's house on the weekend or at least
right,
every other weekend. So you are allotted some type of break. And she
exactly.
didn't have those, which I didn't think about when it first came out. So thank you for that, Busy, because I didn't think about it. But it
You
all
know what it
came down
reminds
to
me of?
how she kind of seemed like wanted to return to Cinder and was putting it all on Front Street. And I know nobody wants to feel unwanted unloved and like you're not good enough to be where you're at. So to me, that was traumatizing for the child. She should have went about it a different way and perhaps phrased it in a different way, and maybe it wouldn't have came off as negative as it is coming
I
off.
got it from my
And
mama.
but
She said
yeah,
y'all was bad and I needed a break. Okay, she said that lady
yeah.
is tired. She said she tired. She
You
said she's
texted
Also,
tired,
Bad
jumping,
child.
and I needed a break.
It
But
reminds me of
see,
You're
like
like, I'm gonna
Nene.
need a
but we're
quick
not sending kids
confirmation.
to people who already.
It reminds me of
We're not
Nene.
sending
It
people to
reminds me of
people
like
that
when
have
Nene
4
was
kids
talking.
already and they're a single parent.
Yeah, you are.
Is she a single parent or is she married? We never got that information from the sister.
That
I
girl
know
that
she was
said
living
she's
in an
single. She's
apartment.
a single parent.
Oh, she said, okay. I didn't
I
know.
liken this to Nene. Remember when Nene was like, "Support me, bitch," with that with her real hair?
Yes.
And as the viewing audience, all we saw was her talking so much negative crap about having to be a caretaker. So
Oh yeah,
we don't
that's
really
true.
get into the mindset of, okay, I'm here now. I'm a 46-year-old woman, lady of the night, and now I have
You always said that.
two people to take care of that I didn't have before. So I do give Marlo credit. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not giving her credit because I was like a latchkey kid as well. I can appreciate when a family member loves you enough to say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I want to be here for you. I want to support you." All I'm saying with Marlo particularly is we didn't even need to know that. And if she did say I need a little bit of
Thank
break and I need some parents to talk to about it, that's different than putting out there. That's the kind of stuff you say about Kenya. That bitch didn't brush her teeth. I don't even think that bitch took a bath. That's not the kind of stuff that you want to say about these kids
I
who do
think
have
as
to
a
go
right.
to
producer,
school.
I wouldn't been able to like. I would have to say why they gone. Like we have to talk about what. As a producer, you would have to say why they gone.
Well, then she should own it for herself. My issue
Mm,
is that she's acting like the boys are doing things particularly, as Autumn said, particularly to her. I'm sorry. I was a girl growing up. I was a violinist. I had pianos. I had a guitar, and I was messy. My room probably just as bad as theirs. I
It
was
is to
messy.
her. I remember I threatened to run away one time. My mama said, "You can run away, but you can you leave everything in this house that I bought." And I realized I had nothing. It is a
I
disgrace
tried
to
when I was
her.
7 and my
It
parents
is
didn't
an
even look
attack.
for me.
Okay.
I was like in the park for an hour.
It is an attack on her.
Yeah,
Everything
I
in this
mean, we
house is
all were
mine.
I was like,
teenagers.
this didn't work.
Yeah, we all were teenagers and did dumb teenager stuff because your brain is not fully developed. And if Marlo is going to therapy, the therapist should explain to her they actually do not have a
That's
fully
true.
developed brain. They
yeah,
some of
Can
this
I
stuff is gonna happen.
finish?
You,
sure, jump in because we're about to close out. Jump in.
Okay. So I was trying to add to Autumn's point is that she could have been like, you know what, I was stressed out. The boys were just doing typical things and I was losing it. To me, I could understand that because I get busy to the point of having to explain why. Then you could have been like, you know what, they were just being teenagers and Marlo, could not handle it. I need to break that way I make sure I protect them. But instead, it's like, oh, I couldn't handle it because they were punching a hole in a wall, dirty clothes. The clothes weren't fully dry because you haven't gone to a laundromat for whatever reason. So instead,
You
it's
don't think
like,
it
I
would
feel
have
like
been
she
the
could have,
same?
But how do we
what?
know that they have
You
ever
don't think it
even
would
been
have been
to a
the same
laundromat before?
response? You
I
don't think it
What
mean,
would have been the
response?
same? Like, you don't think they still would have been
why
like,
were they in a
you threw
laundromat?
they out?
She don't have a
You
washer
put
and
them
dryer.
out?
But
You
I,
clean, you put
but
them
I'm
in the
talking
room.
about what Marlo is doing. Producers
Yeah.
are gonna do, but she could have still just had it like that. She could
Oh,
have
she
still
could
been
have
like, you
just.
know what, this is on me. The boys are just being the boys. Also, they're going through a hard time, and she made it clear. Like she could have been going through something, but she made it clear that they were being, they got worse once the
That's
call
true.
happened. So for me, she could have just owned it like, this is me. They are doing regular things and they're going through things, but this is on me. And then we could have seen her go to therapy. It is weird to watch you kick out these boys, and you cuss them out and kick them out, and your next cause of action is to go on a girls trip for everyone to pity for you and to lift you up for doing something that you
And Mr.
clearly feel
Birthday.
guilty for.
But you
And
got
then
to
they had
think
the
of
birthday.
Thank
Marlo.
you,
Like,
Mr.
think of who it
Birthday.
is. You got to think about who it is, though. She's lived selfishly all these years. She's still
As a
damaged from
lady
her
of the night.
trauma, and she's never really had her delivery has always lacked tact. She's never been a tactful person. She's always like saying something degrading at the expense of others.
and
So
that's why I don't think she's
she,
an
Is
escort.
there only 3
Side note.
people in her family?
hmm?
Is there only
What did you
3
say?
people in her family? I said, is there only 3 people in her family?
I
Because
don't
she
know, but she
talks about
talks
her
about how
No.
sister,
disjointed they are. So
but she
if
acts
they
like, did
are,
she try with anybody else in her family?
Did she
I
What?
what?
don't know.
I
She
don't
may
know.
not have a
She's
relationship
she
with
was
them
in
though, because she was
foster
in foster
care.
I said, did
care.
she try
So
with anybody else in her family besides the one that got 4 kids?
they were
She may
probably
not
just
have
slaves.
relationships
Yeah.
with them.
As far as I know, it's just those three
Can you hear
sisters:
me?
Marlo, the one that's in the hospital, and the one who has 4 kids who also lives in Atlanta. But
Yeah.
Marlo was a foster child. We don't really know what she went through and why she is the way that she is.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that we do need to give her a little bit of grace and
Yeah.
lower our expectations of Marlo because we know
Yes.
she lacks a lot of depth and emotional
Mhm.
intelligence. Um,
Prosperity, can I say this? Because I noticed that you're stuck on the fact that she sent him to the sister that had the 4 kids. Perhaps she chose that sister because they already had a relationship, and most likely they visited and they knew each other. And even though she had 4 kids, it wouldn't be as much of a strain to send them someplace where they knew her and the kids instead of sending them, say, into foster care, because you could get respite from foster care for the weekend and just stay at a stranger's house. So instead of doing that, she sent them with another family member that they knew and they would be more comfortable at. So that's probably
Yeah.
why they chose her.
And I think she
But
she's
said
once,
that on
rich.
the show when she was
but
speaking
once the
about that
child gave them
sister.
but once she gave them melatonin was given to the 4 kids to put them to sleep. Marlo should have been like, okay, break need to be over because these kids are over there acting up. One of them kids could have got hurt. What is that melatonin? He would have gave them too much melatonin.
Oh,
At,
please. I got
at
bit
that
by
point,
Well,
that's when
maybe they
Marcel
filmed out a
Marlowe.
sequence.
Oh my god.
almost drowned. Like stuff happens. When I went to Florida
Yeah.
this summer, alligators were attacking me because my cousin
my
thought
Yeah,
it was
but you
God.
don't.
like
Medicine
Alligator.
stuff
really.
happens.
Medicine
We
is
can't.
different. And those
I think
them kids are over there babysitting that lady's
Busy's
kids.
wrestling
She think it
alligators
happened
over
while
the
that lady at
summer.
work. So
real
for her
quick,
not to get them kids back when she found that out, it's crazy.
Drew.
That's
I
why I
think
doubt if it really
you can't.
happened. Because
I
I
think
agree,
maybe
that's
you get the
insane.
person with 4 people because you know how they say, oh, once you get one baby, having two is like just like it's not a big
I
difference.
think when you
So
have
if
2,
you already
yeah.
have 4
Yeah, that's a
kids,
lie.
there really isn't a big difference, especially when they come with money. That is not a big difference. You
The
already
baby
know.
Actually, don't you
You a
outnumber.
lie.
remember when we used to all go over to my cousins
I
and
got
stuff
5
house?
kids and each
It used
one it
to
was
be
too
like
much.
9 of us in the house for the whole summer, and we enjoyed ourselves and had fun. It didn't matter. Like we had a ball, and it was no difference. If you could feed one, you could feed two, you
Same,
could feed
Autumn,
I
10.
Mom.
nannied 6
Same,
kids at
same.
once.
Oh,
See, it
wow.
happens.
Yeah.
If it's all family, imagine the trouble and fun
It
y'all
was
getting
full of
into.
strategy at all times.
Not strategy. They said we taking her down.
But that's another thing. Marlo
But
should have
also
hired
Marlo, you
a
forgot to
nanny
send
that
money
she
because she was
knew
like, oh
well.
yeah, I gotta remember to send you some money. She don't even
But
remember to
I
send the
don't
money. So like, how much is she really giving them?
y'all, okay,
Marlo,
you
something is
guys,
fishy
we
with
have done.
Marlo's finances. It's
Mims is
something
done.
adding up.
He's
Man,
like, I'm
you
just
You
sent
guys,
pulling the
more
cord.
than you needed to.
I want to say this before we close out. I'm glad to see that other people were as passionate about this episode as I am, and I'm just surprised and good. I'm glad that so many people had differing opinions. I thought we were all gonna come on here and wear Marlo out, but a lot of you have more grace for her. I thought that we were all gonna come on here and side with Candy, but Miss D Green was very strong in her will on you don't disrespect your husband, and that's why she's Mrs. D Green
Period.
and not
Exactly. I'm
Miss
proud to be
D.
Exactly.
married.
I could care
So
less
Mims,
about being married. That
Mims,
N
Good
word
for
is
you,
dirty over
Callie. Good for
here.
you.
Mims,
No.
I
Good
just
for
wanted
you.
to
I don't
tell
Don't
you,
even
disrespect
say
single women. Please don't disrespect married women.
Oh,
Don't come for you being single. Do not come
How's
for
that
me being married.
disrespecting married women because she said she has to
I
feed
wasn't talking to
children?
you. I was talking to Callie.
ooh, I'm muting this.
She's not.
Okay,
She
that
just
still goes
doesn't.
to say, well, how is she being disrespectful because she's
what's going
asking, saying that
on?
she don't want
I
to be
don't.
married?
Like
I
I said,
think
I
this is a
wasn't talking to
Miss Green got
misunderstanding,
an
you.
ladies. I
attitude problem, and
really
I'm not the one
Hey,
to have
what?
an attitude
No,
problem with.
okay,
Good for
no,
you.
guys,
I'm proud of you. That's
hold on,
awesome.
And
I
guys,
I'm
don't
proud
think.
of you too, Mrs. Green.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's RHOA. RHOA is the problem. It's been seeped into our
Exactly.
psyches.
Oh, you're
Um,
not gonna put this on RHOA. I don't know what this yeah,
Mims, before you close out, Mims,
Okay.
Mims, can you hear me? One thing I wanted to say to you, you asked a question earlier. You wanted to know why they were going back to Jamaica and why they were allowing a first time, housewife to be able to sponsor a trip. It all comes down to the fact that the company that she works for is sponsoring this trip.
Yes.
And that's why they're going back to
True
Jamaica.
discount.
Exactly. So that's why
it's a
that's
free trip.
happening.
Oh, so
Coupon.
you think that also maybe they have some side deal with Bravo, or maybe they'll be doing commercials with Bravo, and it just ties in because Bravo doesn't really let you mention a company's name.
Right.
Oh yeah, they definitely.
Right, they get a cut of
Yeah, for
stuff.
sure.
Yeah, they get a cut of any deal that you do going
That makes
forward.
sense.
That's in the Bethany Frankel new clause that now they get a cut of whatever. So if they're sponsoring the trip plus a +1 for everybody to come, then yeah, they're going to Jamaica.
And that's why she had the rules. Girl, this is a business trip.
Exactly.
Get the
This
tickets.
is
Let's
not
go.
from Bravo. These are the people who said they want me to come. So they said 2 people come, girl. Kenya, this is a couple's trip, girl. And that's it on
I
that.
love Kenya, but she is also on a Housewives show. And I recently just came back from a trip where everybody was coupled up and had kids and everything. And I was the only single one there. So I understand, but at the same time, you're
always
in
me
an
too.
environment where you know that that's what it is. Kenya, you need to get a man and get off the show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Walter? Where is Walter?
What we won't
He
do is
booked for another job.
So y'all, okay. So first off, y'all need to like this video because we didn't give you guys a show. So please like the video. It is a free way to support the channel. Tomorrow I'll be here for Beverly Hills. I have not forgotten about the book reading, guys. Maybe we'll do the first book reading this weekend. Also, I haven't paid this boy for my song. So I don't know what he's doing, but that producer has my coins. So I'm going to call him as soon as we get off because I was hoping to have it for you guys by right now. Was there anything else we're doing this show? And Atlanta is kind of catching me. Like, I wasn't really into it. That's why I stopped reviewing it. But if you guys want these reviews, put in the comment section if you want to see them. I was doing them right after the show on Sunday nights. Okay, maybe we can go back to Atlanta too. Anything else to close out?
Check me out later on. I'm going live on my channel. Thank you.
I did check you out. I think I was.
I ain't talking about just you, babe. I ain't talking about just you. You were. I ain't talking about just you. I'm talking about everybody. I'm trying to get monetized.
Okay. Yeah, so Prosperity does do her own mess. Anything that's like hot and mess that she's on. Busy, I think he dropped down.
He's like, see ya.
Busy has a channel. It's Busy Blue. Go check him out. He's really funny. Thank you guys for coming up. We probably will do this next week if the episode is just as good. And I appreciate my whole panel. Bye, y'all.
Thanks,
and Laga got an interview with Heavenly on Saturday. Laga has an interview with Heavenly from Married to Medicine on Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Larger Curves here in these YouTube streets, I will be having my very first celebrity interview with none other than Dr. Heavenly from Married to Freaking Medicine, y'all. Your girl scored. So I hope you guys come through.
Congrats, girl.
I got you, sis. I got your back, sis.
So much fun. Oh, yeah. And leave me a question that we might have to ask her. If we have enough time, I already have like 48 questions. I have to par down before Saturday.
You didn't send her that video, did you, Larger?
No, of course fucking not.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry about the F-bomb.
Fucking not.
But I told you she might see it.
Prosperity.
She does come back. I think she'd be watching my stuff, y'all. I think she's seen some of my stuff. So that's why I was like, oh, she's going to.
You guys been playing tag a lot. I seen her talking to you and you talking to her in the comments and stuff. So she's been paying attention to you.
Yeah,
she got that psychic reading.
Yeah.
Let's hope she did not see that last.
Isn't that crazy? Because we think they don't watch.
Well, even if she did, Mims,
we gotta go.
Then I'll bring you can.
All right, bye.
No, we won't do is that. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.